Hi, my name is Kyra McCarthy, and I'm currently a graduate student at Grand Canyon University. I'm working towards obtaining my master's degree, leading to a licensure in South Carolina to teach second through sixth grade. Ideally, I'd like to teach second through third grade. I was encouraged to enter the field after working with children most of my life, and I currently coach youth girls basketball. And I found a connection through helping kids grow, and I'd like to create a supportive learning environment where they can become successful. In this presentation, we'll be discussing the courses necessary to obtain this master's degree at Grand Canyon University and the specific requirements for certification in South Carolina. Additionally, I'll discuss how I intend to demonstrate a high expectation of being an educator, reflect on teaching practices I plan to incorporate in my classroom, and my own professional learning goals for the future. So we're going to go over the graduate program overview. It's just a description of graduate courses and degree requirements. So the program through Grand Canyon University prepares students to become effective teachers through coursework, including learning about child development and how it affects learning, instructional strategies, student assessment, and classroom management. Additionally, there will be focus in core subjects such as literacy, math, science, social studies, and the arts, such as music classes or art classes. To graduate, all courses must be completed with a passing grade of C+. There's 47 credits that need to be completed. Um, Over 100 hours of practicum and field experience hours need to be done. A content exam should be taken with a passing score. And finally, typically one full semester of student teaching either in the fall or the spring, or that could be 70 full days of teaching. After completion of GCU's program and obtaining a master's degree in elementary education, I'll be able to apply for an initial certification with an official transcript from Grand Canyon, as well as a recommendation from the dean or an official designee. South Carolina requires candidates to earn a passing score in a specific subject area. In my case, that's going to be four different areas, which is going to be English, language arts, mathematics, social studies, and science. I can have my initial certification for 3 years, and then after that, I can apply for a professional certification. And that can either be done by receiving a successful evaluation or through a competency exam. Once a professional certification is obtained, continuous professional development and education should be completed to maintain that certification. Next, we're going to talk about the high expectations as an educator. So demonstration of high expectations that will be performed. So as an educator, I plan to include daily use of incorporated technology into lessons to improve student learning experience and also introduce internet safety. I think that it's inevitable that technology is going to be used in the classroom these days, but I also think that there's an important stress on how to use it safely and teach impressionable minds how to use internet safely. Communication is also important when dealing with a lot of students. I've observed personally that using an online platform or a portal is the quickest way to get access to parents or guardians at home, as well as give information to students for their support. It's also a good way to build a connection with them if they know that they have access to you quickly. I'll continue to follow professional ethical standards to create a supportive, diverse, and inclusive environment. And then finally, by creating a clear classroom management plan or classroom management expectation, which includes classroom rules, jobs, and discipline that's in accordance with school policy, is going to help keep an organized and structured classroom. Next, just talking about reflection and data and how it's used in teaching practices. Many studies have shown that using multiple different sources of data and use of reflection can help improve student achievement and instructional practices. Utilizing practices such as scoring students in the beginning of the year and then retesting them on that same subject matter can give teachers an understanding on where they can improve. Something I really enjoyed in school was at the end of the year doing evaluations. Some teachers would ask us how they did over the course of the year and what they could do better on in teaching. And even though elementary students are younger, I think it's important to ask their opinions because they are the ones that are being taught. And additionally, it's not only important to continue my personal education, but going to professional development programs can introduce new teaching instructions into the classroom. There's always new programs, online programs, technology programs that can be introduced and implemented into the classroom. So I think that that's important. And then finally, professional learning goals that I have for myself. First is becoming a reading interventionist. So through R2S literacy teaching endorsements. So reading has always had a special place in my heart. And originally I wanted to be a high school English teacher. However, after shifting gears, I realized I could still be involved in reading and teaching literacy to kids at an advanced level. Personally, my sister needs reading intervention right now, and I'd like to help kids like her. The Read to Succeed Act, amended in 2024 in South Carolina, requires candidates who provide literacy instruction to students receive a 12-hour professional course in literacy provided by a teaching preparation program, earning a C or better, or 60 hours of professional development. Additionally, there are two different assessments a candidate can take if they wish to go a different route instead, not going through a 12-hour professional course. After obtaining that literacy teacher endorsement, after 5 years of teaching, I'd like to add on the certification of being a coach and then a specialist in that field. I understand that there can be burnout in the classroom for teachers after a while, so having the option to maybe step into a different role of only doing being a literacy specialist would be nice and beneficial. And finally, I'd like to return to school to become a doctor of education. Continuing my education is something that is very important to me. I don't think I'll ever stop going back to school. I believe there's always more to learn. Reading and literacy is a huge passion of mine, like I've said, and if I can create programs that will not only help students learn better, but also help teachers instruct their students better, it would be fulfilling. Um, I also could see myself becoming a college instructor or professor one day, teaching people like myself that have the same love of reading. My main goal in life is to always be able to help people, and teaching will help me do that. I'm excited to continue growing as an educator and make a difference in students' lives. And these are my resources. Thanks.